Hi. I'm recording this because I'm bored, and I'm drawing today because for some reason, my work didn't schedule me today. Uh, so I have a full day to just draw, and so I've been doing that. Um, and I was thinking a lot about image making specifically, and uh, you know, trying different forms of image making, not just like illustration, painting, photography, videography. I think all of it is very important. And I want to emphasize the kind of being multidisciplinary. You know, I think I see it a lot. I'm just kind of catching on to this, and realizing that I should be semi multidisciplinary, in what I make. Because I mean, I'm not a very good artist. I can totally acknowledge that. I'm very dog shit, and I'm not just saying that to fish for compliments. Please don't say anything about that in the comments. I'm just acknowledging it. So some shithead can't be like, you a lot of talk for somebody who can't fucking draw. It's like, okay, I know, I understand that. Move on. Um, but I've been getting into photography, semi just for fun, kind of. And I'm really appreciating it because it's like I think it makes me think about image making much more than I would previously, right? Like previously, it was like, you know, if I was thinking about image making, I was thinking about a drawing that I wanted to make, and I'd just be thinking about that one image, uh, and like that kind of inspiration, I feel like very rarely hits me, because I'm not doing it as much as I'd like, I think. Um, and so now, right, I'm doing I'm doing photography as a hobby. But I'm not going to call myself a photographer. I've only owned a film camera for like 2 months. So I used to do like photo shoots of myself, but that's borderline pornography, which I value. I do value pornography a lot. I think uh, you know the like using erotic sensibilities in photography is I don't know. It's very difficult to do. It's difficult to make it tasteful. Um, and I find it very impressive when people do make it tasteful. I also find it impressive when it's not tasteful. When it's kind of like, just like pornography for pornography's sake. I definitely, I still value that, but there's definitely a difference, like skill wise. Um, but I used to do that, and I would definitely try to make it more of an artistic experience. But I haven't done that for some time. I've kind of like I think like 2 years ago or something. I haven't really done that. Like if I upload anything that's like semi pornographic, it's usually like a selfie or something like that. Because I'm an attention whore and I love that. But I'm talking about like really giving a shit about the framing and stuff like that. And I've really found film photography to be very helpful in illustration recently. Or at least I feel like I have. Maybe that's not true. I don't know, but um, I feel like I'm kind of constantly thinking about like different processes of image making, and it's kind of like a really good way to make picture. Like just I don't know. It's so neat having two forms of image making, in my kind of like repertoire or like as hobbies, and one of them kind of requires a lot of skill and a lot of time to do, correctly, and the other one still requires a lot of skill and a lot of time, but it's the actual like the act of doing it is like literally it's an instant. It's like it's just done. And I'm also really appreciating with film photography is the mystique aspect of it, right? Like I'm not, I used to do entirely digital stuff, because I only owned a digital camera, which was like a webcam or my phone or like my iPad camera, which for some reason the iPad camera is like very good quality. I don't really know why. And I like using those, but it is like the digital stuff is like, you got to drag it into an editor. You have to like do a bunch of shit with it. And you still kind of have to do that with film nowadays, if you really want your image to like pop, but it's like it kind of does all the work for you at a certain point. Um, once you got the photo done, it's like you just got to send it to the motherfucker who's going to develop it. It's like I have a little worker, and also that part is so cool. Like I love sending my image to somebody else to finish. I have like a second little guy working for me. Obviously, it costs a lot of money to get like film reels developed, especially like as it becomes more of like a hobbyist thing. But it is like it's so cool, like getting like an email with all my photos in it, and I realize this is totally rambling, but it's so neat having those two things that I'm doing. Uh, I also think like obviously writing is like kind of a second discipline if you're an artist that I think you should try to do. Once again, not a good writer, really dog shit. But I love doing it. It's very like the way I write is kind of like I'll be on a jog and I'll think of something and I'll write it and I won't run it by anybody else. Like I'll try to, but I think I'm so social media minded that I'll be like, I'm just gonna fucking post it, and if people don't like it, then it's out there and it's gone. I don't have to think about it anymore. It's usually some like I don't know, shitty like poetry stuff, but like or poetry. I'm gonna as soon as anybody with any taste reads those, they're like, this sucks. And I totally get that. They do suck. But I really like doing it. I think it's fun being able to do like different artistic practices to kind of put out like parts of yourself. I think I've really been struggling with that with my illustration as well. I think I've fallen into like the vibe artist trap, which sucks. I think 2 years ago I was making stuff that was like way more evocative of like myself and like my feelings and like what I wanted to be. And like I think that there was like a period where I was drawing lots of women and like I was very heartbroken over like a relationship that had ended. And I was kind of killing it, dude. And I'm kind of not now, I'm kind of, I feel like I'm fumbling around for ideas. Every once in a while I'll hit something good. But like it is, I'm really struggling with drawing. I think. And I think maybe I just need to practice fundamentals again or something like that. But the fact that I'm doing like photography and stuff like that at the same time makes it a bit easier for me to accept that I need to go back and do other things, because it doesn't feel like I've just totally lost my ability to make images. It feels like I've maybe shat the bed in one area really badly, and maybe I need to pick up the pieces of that and kind of reassemble them. But I don't feel like I'm like totally lost, which is nice. I feel this video is completely rambly. I don't even remember where I started. But I'm trying to say, if you feel lost in one artistic medium, and you feel like you're just totally shitting the bed, maybe pick up another one and do them kind of simultaneously. Do one of them more for fun and one of them more for like your actual, like what you want to really give a shit about, and put effort into both. I'm not saying just like take photos of random shit, like, but like, I don't know, just practice giving a shit. practice like having fun again is what I mean. Practice caring about art and about image making in multiple ways, in many ways. That's it. That's all. Goodbye.